Um, no, let me get a sense. Uh, First of all, hi and welcome, everybody. Um, Let me get a sense of whose uh, early childhood, if you can either thumbs up or, and then, or just raise your hand. Who's uh, elementary? And anybody do instrumental rather than general?
I do
Or you do
both.
both? Great, Chris. And then how about piano? Who's my piano people? Yes, I am familiar with these two. Um, and let's see, what else is there? Middle school, high school, anybody older? Okay, great. That's Jacob. Okay. Would you type your name in for me? I have a, or is it there, Jacob, and I just can't see it? There you are.
You said to type my name?
Yeah, you did. It's there now. I don't know
Oh,
why it
yeah.
wasn't
Okay.
showing.
I was going to say, I see mine, so
It just showed up again. Um,
magic.
uh, and what else is there? So a lot of the teachers that I have worked with over the many years that I've been developing this harmonic learning sequence uh, can't do what the kids are able to do. I don't know if everybody saw the videos. Anybody not see the videos? Everybody, okay. I'm going to play them today. It's part of the slides I put together. Yes, or not yesterday, but Saturday. The the keynote or the PowerPoint kept uh, crashing. Well, not crash. It didn't work with the Zoom. I couldn't play the full screen. So, but at any rate, for those who don't know me, I'm Eric Rasmussen. I got my PhD at Temple, and I studied with Dr. Gordon, and got the world of music learning theory. Uh, that world was opened up to me in 1986, and I studied with him for about 3.5 years, um, personally. Um, I couldn't believe, it was one of those struck by lightning moments in the back of the classroom. I did not enjoy my undergraduate elementary methods class. I was going to be a band director, and then I realized in graduate school that I couldn't audiate, that I couldn't understand what I was hearing. A good imitator, and I grew up with great music, and it's not really fair to say I couldn't audiate. It's just that I was notation bound. I could audiate, but I had not been given the opportunity to get my ears uh, up to my level of musicianship that I could fake or at least pretend, or once I played the song or a piece of music uh, a few times, then I got it into my ear, and then I kind of understood it, and then and then I just enjoyed the emotion of it. The that Oh, I see chats already. Oh, okay, thank you, Karen, for your comment. So the mic doesn't work. Okay, I understand, Celine. Thanks. I did. Yesterday, I keep saying yesterday. Yesterday, Saturday. It's been a long week for me. So anyway, but at any rate, only in teaching this way that I'm going to introduce you to did I develop like uh, a level of understanding to the point where, and I always played Dixieland jazz for the last 10 or 15 years, especially, but longer. Um, but I was playing on top of chord changes and not really understanding them. So I was thinking again theoretically. And after a while, I got, some patterns that I would, but my solos were not very creative over many years. But as I started to teach this way, it really opened up a whole world. And I am certainly not the best musician, but I've been developing this for 20 years. Over those years, I've gotten kids that just do extraordinary work. Um, so uh, that's kind of the premise. And I think that we should all be able to give children the opportunity to go further than we have. I don't think we give them what we've got. That would be horrible. I think we should give them the experiences to help them go beyond anything that we as music teachers think is possible. I mean, are there Mozarts or Stravinsky's or Stravinsky, one of my favorites. Ludoslavsky's another one. Um, that's way beyond me, but I love his work. Um, are those children out there in the world? And they are, but are they in environments that were as rich as what Mozart got to enjoy when he was growing up? Not the best social environment for him to be staying up all night with his father and drinking and playing and whatever happened in that household that had, because Mozart definitely had a very rich early childhood. But anybody that is a genius that could get way beyond what I think teachers by and large need to learn to get out of the way. And one of the things I was doing is just trying to keep up with what the children were showing me that they were ready to learn. So the children were showing. So I started this. I have this presentation, and I might just abandon it and talk to you. Everybody hear that okay? Just shake your head. Okay. It's not too loud. So in major, I would play a song like Marietta Little Lamb, or Love the Bridges Falling Down, or The Itsy Bitsy Spider, or Little Bunny Foo Foo hopping in the forest, get the field mice and popping them on the head. Or what's that? That's also there's another one. Go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell her right away. So all these songs that my kids would learn, or tell me, the Little Bunny Foo Foo didn't occur to me until actually one of my first graders, maybe kindergarten. I'm trying to remember who it was, but it was definitely somebody 5, and she goes, "Wait, that's Little Bunny Foo Foo." And I said, "I don't remember Little Bunny Foo Foo." And she sang it for me. And I realized what she was saying, because what I had done and what I do is I teach kids, and I have a game that I play with the kids too. I teach kids, once we've learned the song, let's take away the melody. Or let me start over. All right, so let's just pick Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece is white as snow. So that's one way I do the song. I'm accompanying, I'm singing it, they're listening. Or if they know it already, they might sing along, and I check for singing voices, and I have a whole sequence of helping them to sing in tune. If they're not in their singing voice, I have them sing that pattern on ooh. It's the most successful thing I've ever done. Of course, other patterns. Who is not familiar with Ed Gordon's work, the music learning theory? Who's brand new to it? Anybody? So everybody knows that you sing tonal patterns for the kids, and they can either sing back those tonal patterns as a group, but more importantly that you go around and do these tonal patterns individually so that you can understand that they're able to imitate at least, and hopefully to understand the patterns that you're, say in major tonality, just or all these patterns that you can do just on those 3 tones. And then, of course, it's not helpful if you're only teaching, because that could be in a different or it could be 4. We don't know what this is until you put it in context. And for right now, you probably inferred that my context for that pattern, or you're retaining the resting tone from Mary Had a Little Lamb, is there. So do, mi, so, mi, so, do. All these patterns that you sing with them. Well, I think it's really valuable for children to absorb, even at, who's my early childhood person? Yeah, sorry, Jean Marie. That they absorb functions, not just melodies, and not just, not just melodies, but the functions that go along with them. But it's very important for us not to just accompany, or to accompany them. They also need to be learning these songs without accompaniment. I think that's important too. So I'm not saying, that the accompaniment should always be there, because then it can become a crutch for some children, or it is a crutch for me still, because my singing is not the best. But yeah, do it both ways. And I will go through my slides quickly, and I have a little bit more organized, but I kind of want to enjoy talking to you today rather than presenting. So say we've sung Mary Had a Little Lamb, or all the kids know that song, and I say, hey, can we take away the words to Mary Had a Little Lamb? Will you just sing it on la, 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 or do. I like do a lot. Do is a great syllable for this, because it helps keep them in their singing voice. Hey, I'm just singing the melody. Hey, can we listen to the melody and I'm not singing it? I could just play it. Hey, let's play it somewhere else. And they're just experiencing the melody without the words. And they start to recognize that songs take away the words, or a melody. And then I say, hey, what happens if I take away the melody? That's interesting. Everybody sing the song the way we used to do it, the way you like to do it. Ready? Mary had a little lamb, Mary had a little lamb, his face as white as snow. Now I sang the song. Sing the melody again. Remember the melody? Just no words. Hey, what if I take away the melody? I'm not going to sing it now. And I don't want you to sing it. I want you to just listen. What am I playing now? What was that? Was that Mary Had a Little Lamb? That's Mary Had a Little Lamb. Oh my gosh. Is that Mary Had a Little Lamb? Mary had a little. Then I stop. And a little lamb whose face is white. Hey, can I stop there? Chris, can I stop there? Joanne, can I stop there? No. Do I stop here, Jacob? And I want to see that, like, oh, yeah. Stop there, Jean Marie? No. And some of the kids might not get it right, but most of my 4 or 5-year-olds can tell the difference between no, can't stop there, and yes. So this happened accidentally, and I started naming dominant no and tonic yes. And then we start to explore. And I already played these songs, but here's some of the songs that they've already known. Like, go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell her right away. Go tell Aunt Rhody her old gray goose is dead. Or the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. down in the rain. Right? Take away the words. Do, 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 do. Take away the melody. Hey, I thought this was Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary had a little. Go tell Aunt Rhody. Itsy Bitsy Spider. I'm doing this for you now. It's like you're audiating the melody, but I'm playing the same thing over and over and over again. Little bunny foo foo. London Bridge. And pretty soon the kids, like, they're not just audiating tonic dominant as yes, no. At 3, as young as 3 and 4 years old, I didn't learn tonic and dominant until I had high school theory class, but it was all theory. I think I started to do well by the time I was in my theory 3 and 4 class in sophomore year of college. Like, that's when I learned tonic and dominant, but it wasn't by ear. I could write them down. I was really good at math and puzzles, so theory was easy for me. So, how many songs do we have? Mary Had a Little Lamb, Itsy Bitsy Spider, London Bridge is Falling Down, Little Bunny Foo Foo. Anyway, and the kids are not just audiating yes and no, but they're audiating by young. Well, when the change is happening. So the change is happening now, and there's a preparation, and they're showing me the symbols eventually for yes and no. And later we might call them tonic. We do call them tonic and dominant, but I don't care about, as long as you're able to discriminate between the two. And then I can do them out of context of the song, or before I even do that, there's songs that have tonic and dominant that do not have the same harmonic rhythm. Like you might know, all day, all night, Marianne, down by the seashore, sifting sand. Sorry. All the little boys and girls join in the band, down by the seashore, Marianne. Let's take away the melody. Pretend we sang the melody already for them. Now, all along while I'm teaching these tonic dominant songs that are just tonic and dominant, they're learning songs in all tonalities. They're learning songs that are in major, but include 5 or 6 functions, not just the 2. So they're absorbing all along the way, but what I'm teaching them, once they understand the songs well, is to start to recognize, and then later to identify yes and no. So yes, 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 no, 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 yes, 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 no, 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 yes, yes. So they're now experiencing tonic and dominant, but just a different harmonic rhythm. Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Is everybody familiar with Mr. Bluestein here? He's got a great book. If you haven't read it, highly recommend it. The Ways Children Learn Music. So if you've not been familiarized, or you're not familiar with learning sequences in music, which is one of the most troublesome reads I had for many years of my life until I understood it, and then I go back and read it and it's like, oh, it makes complete sense to me now. It's just a lot of vocabulary that's hard to digest. Recommend Eric's book, The Ways Children Learn Music, if you're not familiar. In fact, it's a good way to review for fun what this whole process of why audiation is the key to about everything we should be doing in music. And of course, technique and learning the names of instruments and recognizing timbres. There's a lot. Well, that is an audiation, recognizing timbre. But anyway, I thought I'd throw you a plug, Eric. Thanks for joining
Thank
us.
you so much. Yeah.
Um,
A way to get
so, go ahead.
I was just saying it's just a way to get you started on the journey. There's a lot more.
There is no end.
Right.
So once you're into music learning theory, you become renewed every time you discover a way that the children are telling you to teach. That's why the value of your title is so important. The ways children learn, it's not how we should teach. You pay attention to how they're learning. That's what happened that had me develop this. I started really not trying to teach what I was told to. I was teaching what the children were telling me they were ready for. And when I found out that 4 and 5-year-olds could understand tonic and dominant, just not the way we typically do it, and it's not even the way it's spelled out to do in, say, the Jump Right In series that's strictly bound by, I'm going to say music learning theory, but no, it's the Jump Right In version of music learning theory. Because music learning theory is evolving, and I think this piece that I'm introducing you to today is something that needs to be strongly considered as its own sequence. There's tonal learning sequence, learning, tones in context. And the rhythm learning sequence, learning rhythm and understanding the context. And without context, there's really very little of understanding. So it's like the word to doesn't mean anything until I put it into a sentence. I'm going to the store to buy 2 pieces of cake too, because my sister's going there and she's buying 2 pieces of cake. So I'm going to the store to buy 2 pieces of cake too. It's like, okay, what do all those twos mean? Not until they're in that sentence do they make sense. Or I could be saying, tu j'aime, or j'aime tu. Yeah, my French escaped me for a second. The French for you. But at any rate, let me go back to this sequence. This was what song? And the kids start to be able to tell me. That's Mary Had a Little Lamb, or London Bridge, or Itsy Bitsy Spider, or whatever. And they feel it, and I do. And it tells you that they're audiating melodies over top of these functions because they're so familiar, because I've been doing them for weeks. So that's all day. That's Marianne is the name of that song. And then I take those functions, yes and no, out of context of a song. So it's yes, no, yes, no, yes. What's this? Yes. What's that? Yes. Yes. What's that? Yes. And then I ask, Joanne, what's this? And she says, no. What's that? Yes. And they're discriminating between yes and no. And if they're making mistakes, then I just do go back and do more of what I just went through with you. But what they love and what makes them laugh at 4 and 5, even 6 years old. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Dreama, what do you want to hear? No or yes? And they tell me what to play. That way they're in charge of what they want. What do you want to hear, Cassie? And she says yes. What do you want to hear, Eric? And he says no. And like, you guys sure like yes and no. You think that's all there is? No, it's not all there is. No. Who's wearing? Or Eric, are you wearing a blue shirt today? No, I play these games. This is for silliness because they're 4. Mr. Eric has really long hair, doesn't he?
No.
Dreamy's looking nice today, isn't she? Yes. Or, things that just, they're telling me, so it's a way to keep them engaged in this yes-no stuff. But I do this a lot, and then after 5 minutes, this no stuff, and yeah, I said, I hope you're getting bored of this, because I'm really getting bored. Is this yes or no? No. Yes. And then, the kids are answering, and I keep going. I'm just dragging them through the mud of this. No, 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 no. And I play it everywhere. I don't just play it in one place. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but that's the point, because boy, does that stick out like a sore thumb. And the kids, I need to see this. I go, uh-oh, we have a new one. That's exactly what I said some years ago. It's not no, and it's not yes. It's not no, and then it's not yes. It's, what should we call this? And the kid said, well, you just called it uh-oh. So it became uh-oh. Now, remember that all along the way, I've been singing songs with uh-oh in it. And, and songs in other tonalities and other meters. But now I'm drawing their attention to something new by comparing it to two things that they already know. And I'm introducing a third thing. Uh-oh. And so all along the way, we've been singing songs like On Top of Spaghetti, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. Take away the words. Oh, what am I playing now? Just the melody. Is somebody asking a question?
Should we or should I talk to you?
No, somebody's. Did somebody have a question? All right. I think, so, on top of spaghetti or, Tinka-lay-yo, come little donkey, come, if you know this song. Come little donkey, come. My donkey eat, my donkey sleep, my donkey kick with his hind 2 feet. My donkey eat, my donkey sleep, my donkey kick with his hind 2 feet. Top of spaghetti covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball. Kick with his hind 2 feet. Tinka. So they start to, wait, Mr. Eric, on top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. Come little donkey, come. Oh, what fun it is to ride. Come little donkey, come. Top of spaghetti covered with cheese. And a 1-horse open sleigh. I start to tease them, and play with their audiation. I play, like the words. You're mixing up, but why did I mix up those songs? And they say, because they have the same functions. Or earlier, because they have the same yeses and nos and uh-ohs. And then I say, yes, but not only that, the same yeses and nos, the same functions, at the same time. So now we've learned songs that have yes, no, uh-oh, and of course, do it in a different key, but down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home, I do not go, for if I do, my mother would say, you ever see a whale with polka-dot tail down by the bay? And then, yes, no, and they're singing with me, no, yes, uh-oh, yes, 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 no, yes. Now, what else have I been doing prior to what I just did with you? Just sing bum, 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 the root melodies to songs. So, sing the song, with accompaniment, sing the songs without accompaniment, sing the songs as a group, let the children sing individually, take the words away to help them sing the melody better. So do is my favorite syllable, to help them in their singing voices. Then
What did you say, Michelle?
I'm assuming that it's not a question for me. Then
Closer so I can discriminate with what he's saying and what you're saying.
I'm not hearing you well. You're asking a question, somebody?
I
Who is
think
it?
I think Cassie's mic is on, but maybe it's not coming through well. She did type some things on the chat box.
You might
I didn't see it. Oh, got you. No problem. Sorry. Yeah, it changed your life forever. I feel like even in the last few years of really perfecting what I've been doing, not perfecting, but dancing with it freely in class, not even preparing for my lessons anymore when it comes to teaching this, that every year is exciting for me when I have new kids, or even old kids. I want to know how much they've retained, how much of it's stuck in their system. My daughter is such a better musician than I am. It's sickening. She remembers, she has good, anyway, she's singing stuff on the way up to school yesterday. It was just, this makes me sick how good she is. Such good style and intonation and ease. Doesn't even think about it. I'm working hard. So what was I saying? I start with babies, Chris. He's asking if I start here with third graders. The babies, obviously, what they're doing is absorbing. So I make sure the babies are understanding, or that they're having. I'm not understanding. That the babies are absorbing. Right? They're experiencing songs that have this in it, or anything. They need to absorb functions, not just melodies. That's where I think we get a little too focused. I might be going too much the other way with just melodies and chants with single voices, or with just the root melodies, because Ray could be, say we're in major, Ray could be, we're in major, and if you're singing Ray, a root that's Ray, well, it could be this Ray, it could be this Ray, right, as a root, or it could be a dominant in an inversion that children might infer.
My question is with third grade, because my kids, well, I'm new to them as well, but I know they haven't had any of this.
Mm-hmm.
So
even you can start with adults. So yeah, third grade is as good as any.
So starting with this same thing, just little at a time, so that they don't think that, because last year was my first year with them, and I tried little by little, but they were like, "Why are we singing baby songs?" Is what it was. So I guess starting here, but just a little at a time at the beginning of class or something.
Well, find songs like, Yellow Submarine and other. Find some other songs. I don't have repertoire that's that much appealing beyond, say, fourth grade, third grade, and 5 to 10% of my repertoire works up to that age. I do have. I'm going to go to my slides because I don't want to forget anything. But I do want you to understand that children are absorbing and then singing melodies and the roots to these melodies. They're experiencing the functions as I play without the melody. They're experiencing the functions when we're singing the songs. But it's also important not to be playing the functions all the time, so that you give them a chance to not have that crutch of having, a supporting instrument in the background. But I think it's crucial that children get experience in all the functions that are, as many as I cover, which is a lot, and I'll get to that. Great, thanks, Gene. If you want to make a list on a Google Sheet of your favorites and share them with everybody. Some people are making lists of all the songs in the popular literature that are Dorian or Mixolydian or other than major and minor. And those are helpful to reference when they're in the popular ear, when the ear. The children that come to class, your students that come to class, may have already had a lot of experience with them, so they've got that listening vocabulary developed, and then you need to be singing with them, and then the roots, take away the melodies. What else am I forgetting? Let me share my
Eric, I have a quick question.
yeah, sure.
In your baby's class, do you also play the functions for them?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Not near as often as I do with, say, 2-3-year-olds. But babies and 1-year-old, absolutely. Not as much. Because I use it as a distractor. Because I want to distract my kids timbrally at that age as much as possible. So I'll sing a melody once in my falsetto. In fact, I do A section falsetto, B section my man's voice. All right, and then I go back to the right, and I'm constantly changing my syllable, my range. Then I play it on a recorder, right? And I just as many timbral changes as possible to make a song last a minute and a half instead of 40 seconds. And then I go on to another song. Unless I've got kids interacting, and then I dance with them. But my point at 1 and 2 and 3 years old is give them, there's never enough that you can get done in a 45-minute or 30-minute class. They just, even if they look like they're not paying attention, nobody's enjoying it, or nobody's doing anything, you're giving them listening vocabulary, which is the key, I think, to the key to my success is that listening, building that listening vocabulary, and just hammering that listening vocabulary, and not worrying about whether kids participate or sing. About the time they're 4 or 5, and I've had them for 2 or 3 years, I start to be concerned. But I've also had a couple kids like that are musically extraordinary. It's just generally not the case. Usually they're singing. So, so forget about what you're seeing right now. Where I start with babies. At 3 years old, I administered my yes/no test. And if you want to copy that link, and if you have any kids that go up to 9 years old, that's, it's in the same vein as any of Gordon's Audi tests, if you're familiar. He has tests his work for 4 years old and down to 3 some. My test actually works for some very precocious 2-year-olds. And I think it's more fundamental in terms of establishing tonality. The way he establishes tonality, right, or in minor. But I establish tonality this way. and it's easier, it's quicker, it's more thorough. So I think there's a fundamental aptitude that we can measure at 3 and 4 years old if you get the kids to pay attention through that. And it's only 10 long. So it's like Marietta, little lamb fleeces white eyes. Can I stop there? No. Can I stop here? Yes. Would you remember this is yes? And this is no. And then I say, what's this? And it takes a minute and a half to give them directions and another minute and a half to administer the test. So all these songs with tonic and dominant accompaniment, and then of course all these others. So, and then I talked about using accompaniment and not using accompaniment. I've covered most of what I've just said here. Wabka is just like using accompaniment sometimes and not using accompaniment. And all along the way, I'm not saying you need to be singing tonic and dominant and subdominant patterns in oral or verbal association like you normally would in a jump right in curriculum. Or any music learning theory needs to have those vocabulary words be taught. But what I am saying is they don't necessarily have to come, and this is contrary to most people who are heavily infused with the Gordon Institute for Music Learning. You don't need that ahead of harmonic learning sequence if you go via my no, yes, because I get kids really early to do that. Then teach root melodies. You can have the kids, I have recordings where you can listen to the melody and sing with the melody, listen to the roots and sing with the roots, listen to both, sing the melody, listen to both, sing the roots, listen to the melody, sing the roots, listen to the roots, sing the melody. Right? So the kids can do homework that way. And I give my 6-year-olds, 5.5 and 6-year-olds on a CD of my tonal patterns and all the songs that I can get the rights to that I use. And you do that in class as well, right? One kid sings the roots, another kid sings the melody. That's pretty advanced. Half the kids sing the roots, half the kids. That's less advanced. Everybody sings the roots. I sing the melody. Well, let's go down even another notch. Everybody sings the roots because I'm helping them sing the roots. Everybody sings the melody, and I'm helping them sing the melody. Now they're singing the melody enough times that they've got it on their own. I introduce the roots. So I'll go through this in the course quite a bit. In my books that I have, here's the melody with the chord changes. Here are the roots and my yes, 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 yes. Uh-oh, yes. I don't care, no. By the way, I don't care is the dominant of the dominant. It came from take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd. I'm a speed, it's a cracker jack. I don't care. I don't care if I ever get back. So that's how those are the only 4 functions I teach with the silly names. So yes, no, uh-oh, and I don't care. So we sing them this way, do, 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 fa, 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 do, re, so. And we sing them, yes, 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 uh-oh, yes, I don't care, no. We sing it that way. And then we also, kids love this. Oh, give me a do with a fa, fa, lo, roam, and the do and the re, fa, lo, play. Where seldom is the do, a foraging bird. And the do, 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 so, do, do. They just think that's hilarious. And it's just a way to help them stay engaged with the silliness, but they're also just experiencing over and over and over again the roots, and not just the roots, to the function, but when they occur. When you're teaching tonal patterns, there's no when in context. There's just tonic pattern. Okay, there's dominant patterns. Who's got those? Who's got subdominant patterns, right? I don't even bother with easy, medium, difficult. Everybody gets everything, and if they can't do it, it was too hard for them. But you never know when somebody who's, you know, they have low or medium or average aptitude, and you don't give them a hard pattern, and you find out later they can do it. What does that mean? Well, their test score is wrong, or the difficulty level of the pattern is wrong. So it's too cumbersome, and I don't do that. Yeah, go ahead, Jean Marie.
So when you're doing, 1, 4, 5, that's easy to do with the hand symbol. How do you do a visual symbol for 5 of 5? Thank you.
Can you see me? 5 of 6. Okay. Quadruple dominant, 2 feet in the air. So, yeah, I'll show you my videos. So in these books, I have the melodies, root melodies, and then I have 20 tracks on bum and 20 tracks with the tonal syllables. Expanded functions. So this is stuff that I'll give to you in the course to practice with, or if you want to buy it, of course, it's yours. And this songbook has all this in it. That is not the right slide presentation. Can everybody see this new one? I stole from a couple other slide presentations, now some old ones. Can everybody see this guy? Oh, wait. Hold on. Share computer sound.
Stop singing it!
All right. Shh. Here's yes. Listen, this yes.
So he's 3.5.
What's this?
No.
What's this?
Yes.
What's this?
No. Yes. Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
No.
I gave him the eye.
Yes. No. Yes. No.
He says no, which it is. It's the no of the no. So he answered pretty quickly, so it's like, that's a no. Here's another one. Okay, Eli, you ready?
Yes.
It's yes.
Listen. He's 4.
Uh-oh.
You sure? Yep.
Yes.
What did you say?
I'm king.
Yes.
Yes.
What is that? No. What's that one? No.
So anyway, you hear him. He got I don't care twice. I've had him since birth, but this is the very first day I worked with him. Yes, no, uh-oh. And it's because there were only 2 other kids in the class that day, and I just decided to play around. And then there's this group of kids. So I showed you 5 of 6 with your foot. If you watch these guys, this is a 2nd grade Title I school. And these were my Stark students, so they're not all like this. These were the best I had. Oh, I keep doing that. What grade are you in?
2nd.
Oops, sorry about that. I want to stop it, and you can't do it that way. So we start with them identifying tonalities, and I taught them to identify the resting tone, and then to learn that that resting tone is the, is appropriate for the name of the tonality. They get mixed up on one, but find out how they land on their understanding. Watch for that.
What grade are you in?
Second.
Where do you go to school?
Dr. Bundy.
In West Baltimore? Yeah, in West Baltimore.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The major or minor?
Major.
Major or minor?
Minor.
Minor. What's this?
Mixolydian.
Mixolydian. What's this one?
Major.
Re fa la.
La.
Re fa la.
Re.
Ti so. Ti so la.
Re.
So it's what?
Re.
Resting tone re. Do or re. All right.
Re.
Functions. Ready? Fingers.
Watch their feet.
Dominant. La. Over major, so it's this la. La. Say what it is. This is la. What's this?
Big la.
Big la.
I keep doing that. Sorry, guys. Big La is a dominant seventh La. So it's triple dominant. La goes to Re, Re goes to So, So goes to Do. I'll go ahead and play this one. They were able... No, let me go back. Sorry. I don't know if I can jump ahead.
What grade are you in?
Second.
Nah.
Where do you go to school?
Dr. Bundy.
In West Baltimore?
I don't think I can jump ahead right now.
Yeah, West
not,
Baltimore.
not inside of here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'll just tell you that I'm playing Mi, La, Re. So, in not random order, but out of context of any song. Little Re, Big Re, Fa, Mi, Fa, La, Little Re, Big Re, So, La. So I do deceptive cadences and I mix them up. And it's not random like double dominant to, I'm sorry. But I can do dominant of the supertonic with some kids. This group here, this is the first day that I did the functions of a song in Dorian in class, but this Dorian song goes to major for a second, and then it goes to minor, and then it goes back to Re, and it's the first time I did. Let me sing the song for you. Little one, so Re. Why don't you please go to sleep? It's a lullaby, but I'm going too fast. Little one, why don't you please go to sleep? You'll feel so much better if you just close your sleepy eyes. Little one, why don't you please go to sleep and go sleepy bye, little one. Right? So here they are in class. I'm singing the roots, and they're showing me what they can do with the functions. So I brought them up after class, and I said, let's do that again, and let's see how much. Because they were so excited. But it's this re, because we're in Dorian. So re, do. Sub re, so re, do. So it's do. So you change do, re, and what you didn't hear is that I said change do to so. So this is do, re, but now we're going to major. This is so. Re, la, Mr. Eric, come on, re, la. Why don't you please go to la? Call it. Do you see him get it before I say it? Yeah, because do goes to. Do doesn't go to la. Re, because we're in Dorian now. So, re, do. They got so much right in there. They also are, it's the first day of that, learning the roots to that song, or learning the functions to that song. So I start with babies, I do my yes-no test. We covered this in an earlier slide. My accompaniment. Let me jump ahead to the audio files, the songbook. What else? This is what you have access to, at least a good portion of it during the class, if you decide that you want to take it. It'll be three 3-hour days, seems to work. But it needs to be spread out so you have time to do homework. But I have 98 songs and chants that are useful for early childhood all the way up to, middle, late elementary. This is all the different contexts, 29 major, because I do look at the functions I cover. Make that bigger so you can see it. Oops, sorry. All right, you see the blue square? In minor, these are the functions I cover. The dominant of the 4 chord, because it occurs in Don Gato.
You're not seeing what you're talking.
Oh, you're not seeing this? Great, thank you. Let me stop share and start a new share and go to this. Thank you. So here are the functions I cover in major. And you don't see them all because they go up to triple dominant. Quadruple dominant should actually be in there. So I do have a couple songs. And this last one is weird here because it occurs in Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Fa, fi, so, la, re, so, do, at the end of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. But this is just to tease you. Obviously Dorian, Mixolydian, the essential functions plus one more. In Phrygian, Now, I don't get through all of the functions and all of the tonalities by second grade, but I have done each of these at least with a group of kids. But I end up just hammering major, minor, Dorian, Mixolydian, probably as much. And then my tonal patterns, there's the list of them. And I prefer to describe meter this way because it's more explicit rather than this way. And I have a big beats are not the same size is the best way to say unusual meter for kids that are 4, 5, 6 years old. In fact, it's better than saying unusual because 7, 8, and 5, 8 are not unusual if you've experienced them for 10, 20 years. They're no longer unusual. They should be as usual as major and minor or duple and triple and whatnot. But anyway, so that's a lot of the slide presentation that I wanted to just. We're over an hour already, but I'm happy to spend more time if you have questions. That's the best thing for me, is to hear if you have questions and what I can explain better, what might happen in the class. But you go through what I just did in a half hour in a way that helps you understand how you're going to apply it in your situation, how do you apply it to piano teaching, all of that. So, anybody?
Yeah, so how do we have, again, because I'm new, how do we have access to this, or where do we sign up?
What I'll do is I'll email everybody. If I haven't been given your email, that's the only way you'll have access to the class. I'll email. Well, I'll post it on the normal places. I just hate to be spamming Facebook groups as much as I have. I prefer that I talk to individuals that are interested about taking the class. And I want them to have gone through introduction so they know that they're able to handle it. Some music teachers find this daunting, and it's work even for the music teachers that have done well in this. Sometimes it's daunting, not for everybody, but for some. But I'm patient and I know how I had to learn it. So if you give me your email in a messenger, or if I don't already have if you didn't get an email from me this morning, you should send me your email in Facebook Messenger, or you can send it to teachmusictokids@gmail is my email. It's all spelled out, teachmusictokids, T-O, kids, @gmail. And if I have your email, I'll send out an invitation to do a doodle poll so I can get as many of you that would like to do the class at a time that works for you. But I'll be offering it a couple different times, probably with the amount of interest I have. And if you can't make the times that I offer it, I do record the sessions and you can play them and download the video of them, but it's just not as good watching the videos as it would be if you're participating in class, because your questions are so valuable to the other participants in the class. Karen did it last year. She's back again.
I really enjoy the class. And this time around, I think I got acculturated. So when you were going through the content, it's just so enjoyable.
And it wasn't as enjoyable when I did the introduction last year. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I have been acculturated, and I'm appreciating this from a new light.
Yes. Yes, it changes your world.
It does. It does.
Yeah, you stop listening. You stop turning the channel on Baby Shark. People are tired of Baby Shark, and I'm like, no, my kids know Baby. They come acculturated with Baby Shark, so I like teach them the changes to Baby Shark. You know, it's like, how many people know the real changes to Baby Shark? Does anybody audiate those? So yeah, if you don't, then you haven't listened to it enough. You haven't audiated it enough. You've heard it. I've heard it plenty times, right? No, what I did is I watered it down. Did baby shark, baby shark. I had the 6. No. It always ends on no. Mama shark. So it's great for my 2- and 3-year-olds. Like, no. And there's actually some pretty funky changes in there that I haven't done enough myself to be able to audiate them, but I can play them. So, other questions?
Eric, I'm just wondering for the classes, you're mentioning it'll be 3 3-hour classes, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Would that be like in the mornings, or it depends?
It depends on what you're available for. My schedule is wide open, except for a few other colleagues of mine are doing sessions like what I'm doing this week, and I'm going to attend those. There's one on music aptitudes that I'm going to go to, and then there's another one. It's in my schedule. I forget who it is. Oh, early childhood Zoom people.
Oh.
So I need to go to that to see what else I could be doing, and also what I can contribute, because I have a lot of repeat children from the spring that took the summer that have signed up for the fall. I'm like, I run out of ideas.
Is that early childhood thing through Gimel?
It is a Gimel person, but it's not through Gimel. I'm not doing this through Gimel, although I'm a heavy Gimel subscriber and a big MLT person.
I think it might be the one on the early childhood Facebook page.
The early childhood Gimel or music learning theory Facebook page? Yeah, probably. I think it's.
I don't think I'm on that, but I should get there.
Is it Krista, or that she's doing a piano one? I forget. Krista Jadro.
Yes,
There's been a bunch of them. August is a good month for this kind of stuff, so everybody's piling on, and it's really great.
Eric, and you're saying you're envisioning this will be like for till maybe end of September, is it?
I want to get it done in the next few weeks, so 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Victor, I'm so sorry I didn't see you there. I don't know how long you've been waiting. We're wrapping it up here. But hang on after people say goodbye, and I'll talk to you, Victor.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I kind of want to do maybe I'll make everything available, but I'm thinking that, morning, afternoon time one day, and then 3 or 4 days later, enough for you to do homework. But I like to get it done fairly soon and start within the next week. It's and then I will do the sessions live more than once. So there's enough interest, and I don't want to have more than 8. Last year I had 9, and it was really good. So more than 10, absolutely not. I want to have less than that. So, and the amount of interest, I think it'll be more than that. So I'll give it twice, and then of course I'll record all the sessions and post those. And all the material, Chris, is posted in a Dropbox link, so you can just download the homework and the sound files and all that. Like that. But as long as I have your email, I'll send you all the information you need, the logistical information, the doodle poll for when everybody can make it. Oh, thank you, Dreama. All right. Anybody else? You're good? I hope you find it as exciting as I do. Karen, you have a question?
Yes. I'm wondering what's your recommendation for for a person that like me.
For you, we need to talk individually. As you did the class last year, I'm flattered that you're back again. We should create your own individual plan based on how you want to apply it to your piano. Marilyn, I think, can make tomorrow's introduction, so I'm really excited to talk to Marilyn about this and combine with her about how to teach. Sorry, let me mute that. I want to combine forces with Marilyn to, I know what I do already for piano. I teach, the kids that can play tonic and dominant with the piano. I have them, play a melody, and they have to that they know, and then apply tonic and dominant where they think it works. So sometimes it's Mary had a little lamb, right? Mary had a little, and sometimes it's Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little, they're, and I love it because they're finding out what works. It's like playing with blocks. The big ones don't go as easy on top. They go easier on the bottom if you're going to build a high structure. And there's nothing wrong for children to play with blocks, to play with functions at the piano, and just be wrong. And it's one of my favorite things to do, is make kids feel comfortable not knowing. Be excited for something they don't know, because everybody thinks they're supposed to know the answer.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk, Karen. Thank you so much. All right. Victor, stay on. And everybody else, feel free to email me or whatever, and I'll be in touch. I hope this was helpful and useful. Sorry it went so long. There's a lot of good information to get. All right, thank you. I'm going to stay on and talk to Victor for a little bit. And Karen, we can catch up later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, bye, Chris. Bye, Dreama. And Celine.